Have you ever wondered why you couldn't accomplish something and you're sitting there and thinking to yourself, man, I really wish that didn't happen, or I only have this much energy left to give? Well, the problem is not necessarily that you only have this much to give, because your body, it does a pretty good job at letting you know when you're overexerting yourself, when you don't have as much energy as you need. But what I found is that sometimes it's just a mental thing. So your brain is just trying to prevent you from overexerting yourself, from being uncomfortable. The human brain loves to be comfortable. Why do we watch TikTok for hours on end when we know we should be studying? Why do we browse through hours and hours of YouTube videos pertaining to a subject we like, but never actually start working on it? Why do we start a workout and we know what our max is, but we never really approach that max? We always do a few reps under, one set short, or we give up halfway through or lower the weight. All of these things, I believe, are a mental thing. And for example, at the gym, I've been lifting alone for around 2 years. Maybe not consistently, like straight for 2 years, but for the better half of 2 years. And so one thing for me, because I've had a few muscle tears, I try to operate within my parameter of safety, but that line got blurred more and more every time I got injured. Having to sit out for a month, having to just not work on what I want to work on for a long time, it's conditioned me to think, okay, I can't push myself. When the reality is, in order to grow in the gym, you need to push yourself. What the problem was not that I was pushing myself too hard. It was that I was pushing myself in something that I wasn't comfortable doing yet, or something that I didn't really know how to do yet. And even though I might have thought I did, it was my ego getting in the way. And so recently, I've come across this breakthrough, and I've found that I've been doing it in more than one area of my life. It just looks a little different for each situation. Is creating a ritual. A ritual bypasses your need for motivation. It generates willpower to do something in that moment, and it might look different for everybody. So in the gym, I found locking my fingers, my thumbs touching each other. That's just the way that I like to hold my hands. It's a very comfortable position for me. And I'll stare. I'll pick a singular point of focus, and I'll sit there and I'll think to myself, all right, when you're in between rest sets, you need to sit down. You're not on your phone. You're just thinking. You're thinking to yourself. My quote that I use, what would a king's energy look like? What would a king be doing in this situation? How should a king behave? And not necessarily just in the king sense of like a monarch, someone who rules over other people, but like a lion, the king of the jungle. Maybe if you've watched Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby, he's, in my eyes, the king of that show. How do these people react to situations? How do they conduct themselves? Well, they conserve energy. They slow down. They think a little bit more. They challenge themselves up here. And so my ritual has become, all right, when you get under this bar, you're going to move this weight. Not how many reps am I going to do? Not, oh, how many reps until I'm done? How many sets until I'm done? You're going to get under this weight, and actually, you're going to add weight to this after this. Even though this is your safety net, you're going to go past that. You're going to hit your max. You're going to hit a full range of motion. And everyone around here, regardless of if they know it's your max or not, they get to watch you. They get to see your full range of motion. They get to see your power in this moment. How many people go in there and they think to themselves, I just need to get through this and then I'll be done for the day? That's a terrible way to go through it. I just have to get through this. No, you should be excited about it. I get to do this. I get to exert my maximum effort. I get to watch my progress explode. I get to think, damn, this is fun. And I found that in challenging myself, staring in the mirror, like just challenging myself before a set, come on, Come on, you think you're so bad? You think you're so scary? Just staring at myself intently with a face of like murderous intent, challenging the guy in the mirror. He's not me. He's the bitch in the mirror that I need to get past. I need to get around him. Like, kind of like a David Goggins mentality, if you've ever seen that guy. When he's lifting, sometimes he'll just start shouting stuff. And while I'm not shouting things in public, in my head, I'm challenging myself. I'm looking at that guy in the mirror and I'm thinking, anything he can do, I can do better. And in lifting, I've started developing this really creepy grin. And like during like mid-set, like as hard as it is, I'll be smiling ear to ear. Yeah, this is awesome. Little bit of a psychopathic look. And after finishing my set, I reset. How does the king conduct himself? How does he move? How does he breathe? What is he thinking up here? And I'll look around the gym, and after I get finished with my set, there's a few people who are looking at me like, this guy must be on something. He's a psychopath. I want to go nowhere near him. But I've smashed all of my maxes this week, in the gym at least. At work, it's a little bit different. My ritual for work as a server or a food runner, drink runner, it's a giant smile. Every time I approach a table, when I'm like 20 feet out, 30 feet out, whatever it is, it's a pretty big restaurant, I'll just start smiling. I don't care if the person I see, the table that I'm going to, has the worst grimace on their face. You know, they might need that smile. I'll smile before I get there, and maybe about 5 feet out, I'll say, hey, how's everyone doing? Like, just keeping that smile and like asking people like if they need anything, and more often than not, their sulliness turns into like, I'm okay, how are you? And I respond with gratitude. Thanks for asking. You don't have to ask your server how they're doing. Their job is to serve you and not the other way around. Even just the simple act of asking someone how they're doing is a service. And so that ritual of smiling gets me in a better mood. It sets my frame of mind of, this is what I need to be doing in this moment. My job is service. How do I create a better experience for these people? In reading my book, my ritual is wake up 6:30 to 7, somewhere around that time. Doesn't need to be exact. Throw on my hoodie, walk outside with my book, and I face the sun, and I just crack it open. I usually take note of what time it is because my goal is to read around half an hour every day, and I just read. I go through the pages. Usually around 2 chapters of the book I'm reading right now is around 22-ish minutes, and then I'll just push a little bit past that. All the while, I'm staying within my growth zone. That half an hour used to be like 1 minute, 2 minutes. I couldn't read to save my life. Like, my reading abilities really peaked in middle school. But now, I'm approaching that half-hour mark again. Like, reading is enjoyable. It's become so habitual that I don't need to even think about it. But that ritual every morning is what's generating that willpower to push through it. I don't like reading for extended periods of time. Reading takes time. Like, I value my time a lot. I like to be doing things with my day. I'm a very physical person. I like to be moving around a lot. I don't like to be stagnant for big periods of time. And just getting up, throwing on a hoodie, and walking outside, I'm not going very far. I'm literally just stepping outside of my door onto our porch area, opening a book, and reading. It's not hard. It's not easy, but just getting up and going outside, one, it's waking me up way earlier than I have been. I've been waking up like super late, like just an hour or two before work, just to get ready and whatnot. But here I am. I'm making significant progress with my life, and it's applicable to every area of your life. Motivation is usually derived from willpower. If you don't have the willpower to generate that motivation, you're not going to get anywhere. And motivation in itself is already kind of overrated. Just do the thing. Doing the thing will get you that motivation. Once you start, it's hard to stop doing something. And if you just take it to your natural feeling of discomfort and just stopping there, you may be making progress in no time. It might not be instant, like I can read a book half an hour every single day. I've been reading a book every single day for the better half of the last 2.5 months now. I started off only being able to hold my attention for like a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, which sounds bad, and it is. TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and social media as a whole has really destroyed my ability to focus. But the difference now is that I've only been taking it to its natural end. You know, when I'm feeling that natural resistance, I just take a break, I step away, come back. If I can only read like a few more sentences, I'll just close the book for the day. That's it. That's all I needed to read. I got what I needed out of it, whether it's not to take something out of it or just the act of reading. Now I'm actively engaged. Every word I'm hanging on by a thread. I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. This is cool. In the gym, I'm thinking, damn, I get to lift this. This is fun. I get to make everyone watch me smash my like PRs. When I'm at work, I'm smiling. Everybody's asking me, why are you so happy? Like, I'm happy because I'm making myself happy. I'm not happy because of anything that's happened to me. I'm not happy because I'm working extra hours and making more money. I'm not happy because I'm a server and like my job is to just interact with people. I'm happy because I'm happy. And that may not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but just believing something is far more powerful than trying to find something to motivate you. Like, oh, if I just had this, then I could do it. If I just had this one piece of better equipment, I could go and do my hobby. Get started in whatever capacity you can. If you like drawing, but you can't afford a book, like a sketch pad and some nice pens, buy some chalk, buy some crayons, buy something. You don't need the fancy equipment. If you get good at the base level, hell, I'm recording all of these videos on my iPhone through the front-facing camera, no less. My microphone is the one that's in my headphones, and my room is my car. I drove to the beach today thinking I want a different change of scenery, and it didn't work out. There's the county workers cleaning up and using air dryers. There's the tourists all over the beach walking through my shots, and the sound of the ocean is ridiculously loud. All the birds. I thought it was a great idea. I was like, wow, the beach is a cool place. I get to capitalize on living in Hawaii, having a cool, nice background. But didn't work out. Here I am, packing my car for who knows how much longer. I'm not going to do it in my room. My room is absolutely a mess right now. Until I get that sorted, this is my environment. Once you're there, create a ritual. What works for you might not work for someone else. You can try mine. You just sit there, stare at a single point of focus, slow down your thoughts, slow down your thinking, challenge yourself, look at yourself in the mirror. Come on, dude. Who are you? I'm way better than you ever will be. And in generating these kinds of thoughts, you won't need willpower. You won't need motivation. You will just naturally be that. And this was a little bit more geared towards the guys, because guys get a little bit more out of a challenge than women do. But that's just a reframing of the mind. If you're a woman, what motivates you? Like, is it like aesthetics? Doing this will help me be more aesthetic. Working out will help my body aesthetics. Reading will help my brain aesthetics. I will know what sounds appealing and how to talk better. Drawing. How do I sketch this out so that when I draw or when I write, my penmanship, my sketching abilities are more aesthetic? How do I reshape my environment? Maybe it's moving a pillow over to the left. How does it reshape your aesthetic? And that's just if aesthetics are your thing. For everyone, there's something else. And just find those rituals and you will be better than you ever could have imagined.